Namaste, welcome back to the channel. So today I am going to share an incident in relation to my registration process that I faced during my transfer. So initially I have done my UG, that is undergraduation BAMS from STM College of Ayurveda Udupi between 2010 to 2016. After that I got registered in the Karnataka state, that is KAUP Board in Bangalore. So after that I came for post-graduation to Jaipur. So till then there is no issue with the registration. Registration is already there in KAUP Board, that is Karnataka, and it is running. So during your student life, may it be UG, PG or PhD, you are not supposed to practice privately. So till then you don't have any issue with registration. So then what happens? After my post-graduation, I decided to move ahead to Chandigarh, which falls between Punjab and Haryana. So there I plan to start clinical practice. For that purpose, I needed to have registration there because I had a long-term plan there. So for that purpose, what happened? I had to cancel my registration from KAUP Board. So KAUP Board, I went and I applied for the NOC. So for that, initially cancellation will be there and then NOC will be issued. But usually KAUP Board has a very corrupt system. Even today I heard from few of my juniors regarding this corruption. Usually they don't give it immediately. They ask some extra money. So what happens? Certain times NOC is not issued immediately. They will tell you, you will get it in post. आपके सारे you will like my all the documents are already handed over. All documents are already handed over to KAUP Board. My registration certificate, the smart card, everything is handed over. Now, after that, you don't have anything in relation to proof of registration. Because I have handed over everything and now I don't have any NOC also. So after that, what happens? After that, after a long time, they sent the post and finally I got the post after 1.5 months, 1.5 to 2 months you can consider. Then I applied in the Punjab board. So in Chandigarh there is an option to register in both Punjab and Haryana, since it is a UT and common capital between the two. So I decided to go with Punjab. So Punjab board, there I gave the registration, the NOC, and then I applied for the registration. Then after applying for the registration, as I mentioned in my previous video regarding registration process, immediately I don't get registered in Punjab because Punjab has to verify whether my BMS is truly done from the certificate what I am showing, like the college and the university. So what they will do, they will send a letter or certain times mail to the university and to the institute. And even I applied for PG, so they sent even to the Rajasthan, that is NI Jaipur, for the PG verification. Now, what the lady told me in that particular registration board is, she told me if you apply for Karnataka university, it may take a very long time to get back the answers, very long time. She told me like once one candidate applied for the NOC, the verification from Karnataka, he got the verification after 10 months, 12 months. So maybe 1 year he didn't have any registration. Then I was not sure whether I'll get the verification done from the university. Verification means we don't have to do anything. Verification fees they will take, the board. They will send the mail or post and they will communicate with each other. But luckily, after 1 month I got a call that the verification has been done. So you can get the registration done. So they told me that even if I get reply from the institute, they can go ahead with the registration. So I even tried with because it is easy to contact the college officials, because mail access is easy for them so that they can reply back easily. So that option they had given. I think probably one of them has replied first. So I got it registered within 1 month. Now, this was the initial part. Then came the COVID lockdown. So basically my registration did not have any utility. So I couldn't plan the clinic as I thought earlier. But I had seen certain places and I had made sure what kind of setup could be done. But ultimately due to COVID I had to stop, and ultimately I had to even leave Chandigarh and come back to Jaipur. So in between this, again I had to come back to Jaipur. So then after coming here I had to start clinical practice here, because as I regularly tell, a good teacher is the one who practices. So if you cannot practice Ayurveda in a clinical setup, or at least in your hospital setup, one or the other way your teaching skills are going to go down. You will not be able to impress the students with your knowledge. Impress in the sense, of course, it is the convincing of the students rather than impressing. So you cannot convince the students properly, the topics, because clinical knowledge is must to have the understanding of classical Samhita. So after coming to Rajasthan, I had to get the registration done. Now issue in Rajasthan was, I had to get one of the government IDs like voter ID card, or it could be the BPL card or anything, APL card, anything from the ration card. Ration card also was asked. Domicile certificate. Domicile is not at all possible because I am not staying here. Voter ID as an had an option because it was easy to transfer my voter ID with the online process. So it took 2 months for me to get the voter ID done, and then I had to apply for the Rajasthan registration. Now I took NOC. I took NOC from the Rajasthan, I mean the Chandigarh board, Punjab board. So then I had submitted it here in Rajasthan board. In Punjab board, I got the NOC on the same day. The day I applied, within half an hour I got the NOC done. So then I realized the KAUP board had some malfunction. Initially I thought it is the routine process. Then I realized it is some issue. There is some issue with the KAUP board. Now, during this process, like in the earlier process, I had a conversation with the KAUP board officials. KAUP board officials. I asked them, like, I applied for the NOC and you told me that NOC will be given within few weeks, but till now I didn't get anything. Kindly send me the tracking ID. You can see the mail. You can see the mail here, what I have sent. Luckily I had sent the mail, so all mails are available in my inbox. So the reply what I got was shocking, a very harsh kind of reply. I think that person who has typed even doesn't know proper English. Such people are sitting there. So you can see they replied in a very vague manner that it is a 3 months process. Now I don't know from where they got this 3 months process, because NOC is a 1 minute process, it's not 3 month process. And then they have replied in this way. So they told they won't send any tracking ID. So without tracking ID, you don't know when the postman will come and give you. So these many issues were there. So this is a practical problem I faced, and luckily the mail is the proof for that. You can see that. Why I am sharing is, even you might have faced these problems. So what could be the solution, that I am going to tell at last. So after that Rajasthan board, I applied for the registration. As I told, registration here is again requiring verification. Verification from the Karnataka where I studied. So they sent the letter to the university. Here in case of Rajasthan, they sent the verification purpose for verification purpose only to university. They didn't send to institute. Now after 1 month also I did not get any reply. I repeatedly visited the registration office. They told there is no reply. We will call you when it comes. Then I realized that there is some problem with the RGUHS. RGUHS had an issue because they are not verifying, and they take the money for verification. Verification also they take some amount, 1000 rupees. Now in spite of paying, why they are not replying? Then I realized it is one of the worst universities in India. Then later I realized there are even worse universities, but still from the management point of view, RGUHS is still considered as the worst, at least among the Karnataka belt. Everyone knows that. There is nothing secret there. Everyone knows about that. Worst in the sense, in terms of timely happenings. There is no proper disciplined kind of work there. So that is lacking in RGUHS Bengaluru. So then what I did, I started mailing to the authorities of RGUHS. So I think certain mails I am showing you now. Multiple mails. Day 10, day 11, I started typing. Day 1 reminder, day 2 reminder, 3rd reminder, 4th reminder, 5th reminder. So this I attached to all the officials of RGUHS. Then I realized this is the time to apply for RTA. So RTI, right to information. I wanted to know what is the status of verification, my verification, why it is not happening. Then when I opened the RTI website of Karnataka state, I realized there is no RGUHS board in the actual RTI list. RTI list is already prepared. You can't randomly give you the company name. It is already there, drop down box, you have to choose from there. I realized RGUHS is not there in the RTI box, so the drop down box. Then I called the customer care of RTI. RTI is handled by other professionals. Then I informed them this problem. Then they realized they missed out RGUHS. Somehow I think RGUHS never had an RTI because it is not there in the list. Then within one day they added RGUHS under the RTI board. The person understood my problem. So next day itself it came. So then I applied. Then even after applying RTI, I started continued mailing that even after RTI I am not getting reply. So after applying for RTI, within 10 days I got a call from nodal officer. Under each RTI claim issue, there will be one nodal officer for that particular board. So he called me. So he asked me he knew the problem of course, but he just asked me to brief. Then he told me what is the issue. There was no issue at all. The photocopy what the board had sent had become little bit blur, but otherwise it can be easily readable. At least they could have replied that the photocopy is not clear. Of course, I have not sent the photocopy, it was sent by the Rajasthan board. Then I realized it is just a reason, because everything is visible, it is easy to verify me. Of course, I have received certain the prices also from RGUHS, so it was not a big issue that they don't know me. So somewhere the corruption level is on higher side. Later, within 1 week after that call, the RGUHS sent the answer to the KAUP board, so the Rajasthan board. But what they sent was the negative part. They sent that the photocopy what we received is not visible. So they sent like that. Now the issue is they are taking revenge. Of course, I asked for the answer. They sent some other way, answer in a negative way. They sent the answer but in a negative way. But of course, Rajasthan University, the board understood the problem, because all the well-known places, well-known people are there, and it was not a big issue for them to make out what is the problem. So they took the affidavit from me and they have made the registration later, because everything is visible, and even and since this is not for the purpose of any recruitment, so there was no issue. So they gave me the registration. Ultimately, RGUHS had this problem of delaying to issue the certificates, and KAUP board is having these corruption issues. And in Chandigarh I had a very good response, very good staff, and even in Rajasthan staff are less and process is just like government. So Rajasthan is having different issues, that is not my problem. Of course, the students are not going to suffer because of all these things. So this was my story in relation to the problems faced during my registration and transfers. I think this can be felt by many of you who are listening to this. With the proof what I have shown, I think you can go with such kind of a solution. Start mailing them. Immediately start mailing them, asking for the status of your transfer or status of your NOC or anything. Status of reply from the university. Repeatedly mail them, and in the mail add multiple officials of that board, not just one person, because the university has even the chancellor. The chancellor post is usually given to the governor, and somewhere or the other the health minister is there, somewhere or the other CM is there. Add everybody, because at last you need proof. You need proof of asking questions, and ultimately when you send such kind of 10-12 reminders, you have a strong case to build, and then RTA becomes very easy. RTA personnel will immediately find out that the board is negligent because you are reminding but they are not replying. Immediately you will get the response. If you do not mail them and if you ask for RTA, certain times RTA may ask you to wait because there is certain time gap. But you reminded, still they are not replying to the mail, means they are on the negative side, on the lower side. So in that way, you can get any issue rectified. So RTA is the main tool I think many of the Ayurveda people are lazy and not using RTI, at least for the purpose of their own rights. So this is one way of getting back what a citizen should require, the powers to control what is happening around him, anything wrong. So I think with this story, we'll end this video. Thank you.